Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 155. If you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out my podcast. I hope you enjoy. And as always, I am so excited that you guys have decided to spend a little bit of your week hanging out with me, talking about knitting, spinning, fiber, and hand dyeing yarn like I do. So, without further ado, I have a lot to talk about this week. I'm looking at my show notes over here, and I've got a lot to cover, which is good, right? Content for the podcast is always a good thing. So, but yes, first things first, I hope everyone is staying cool. I know here in Brooklyn, it's been crazy hot. I can't even describe it. Thankfully, I like the heat. It doesn't affect me as much until somebody mentions to me like, oh gosh, it's so hot. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Maybe I should turn the AC on. I'm just weird like that. I love hot, scalding weather, which makes it a little bit weird that I like knitting, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, first things first, I have something that I'm super excited about that I want to mention first is the Holla Summer Magazine 2015 collection. And if you're not familiar with Holla Alison Dijkhuizen, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her last name. I could be wrong, and forgive me if I am mispronouncing it. I think that's right. But Alison Dijkhuizen of Holla and Sweatshop of Love, she's an amazing, wonderful knitwear designer, reached out to me a couple months ago and asked if I would be interested in offering yarn support for her upcoming summer collection. And of course I said yes. So I sent her yarn, and she sent the yarn off to her designers who were contributing to the magazine, and they ran away with it. And Voolenvine Yarns, my hand-dyed yarn company, will be featured in the magazine for two patterns, and those are, to make sure I get this right, the Beach House, the Beach House pattern, which is appropriately named after the colorway that I contributed, is by Teresa Gregorio. I will post photos of the pattern so you know what I'm talking about. But it's a really, really fun mesh lace pattern. You wouldn't think to use DK weight for this pattern, for anything lace to wear on the beach, but it's so airy and open that it makes sense. So the pattern itself is a crop top. For me, I would actually knit it a little bit longer because I don't know, I don't wear crop tops so much, but I would really love just to have like some kind of lacy garment, top that I could chuck over myself when I go to the beach. So it's a really fun pattern. Check it out. And then my yarn will also be featured in the Backbone pattern by Kirsten Singer. It's something like I've never seen before, but it's this vest, and it looks like the back is kind of like this strip of cable, and it looks like a backbone. It's really cool. So that's another one to check out. And the awesome thing is that we're in the midst of the blog tour. I am totally blanking on when the magazine launches. I think it's next week. I could be wrong. But we are in the midst of the blog tour. So everyone has a designated day to talk it up. Today's my day to chat it up. So I'm really excited about it, clearly, and so should you. And to make things even more awesome, Allison is generously donating a digital copy of the magazine for a giveaway prize. So to one of you lovely viewers. And so I will be creating a thread in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. And to enter, one post per person, please. Just let me know which pattern you are most excited to cast on if you win this prize. So after a week, I will close the. Let's make it 2 weeks. We'll do 2 weeks just to give everyone a fair chance. So in 2 weeks, I will close the thread and use a random number generator to choose a winner. So yeah, that's how it goes. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Allison if you're watching. Thank you so much for including me in this awesome collection, and yay, super excited. So I just wanted to mention that, and then so I'm trying to think what else did I want to talk about. I know that, Okay, I'm going to save this for the very end of the episode, but upon popular demand, I am adding a new segment to the podcast because a lot of you have been asking me about my makeup, how I wear it, what colors do I use and everything, so I figured let me put it out there, see if you guys want me to include a little segment about makeup, and clearly it's something you guys are interested in. So I will put a 3-minute segment about makeup at the end of most episodes. I can't say every episode, but if it dawns on me to do it, I will talk about makeup and techniques at the end of the episode. So for those of you who are just here for the fiber and fun, so just getting that out there. Okay, I think Administrati is done. We can dive into what I am working on and what I have off the needles, because I actually have something off the needles. And yes, if you are guessing socks, you are correct. I have one sock off the needles. This is, the yarn is Lanai Yarns in her Across the Universe colorway. So it's just a simple superwash merino nylon sock base, and then has these awesome flecks and speckles of every single color of the rainbow you can think of. So I'm excited to have one pair off the needles, and I haven't even cast on the second sock yet. I have to get to that, but I will have something to show for the next episode. But yay, one sock is done. And in case you missed out on it last week, it's a basic cuff down, 1x1 ribbing, plain stockinette sock with a fish lips kiss heel, which has been my go-to heel as of late. I'm kind of getting, I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm getting tired of knitting it, but I am craving other heelage, if that makes sense. I am thinking about maybe my next pair of vanilla socks will have a different heel, because I was thinking to myself, I was just wondering, I was like, is it possible to forget how to knit my favorite pair of socks? Because, I have a pattern out that are my go-to favorite sock pattern. And I was just wondering, would I know how to do that at this point? Because it's been quite some time since I knit one of those, a sock with that reinforced heel and heel turn. So yeah, I think I'm okay. It'll come back to me when I actually come to knitting it. But yeah, so yay, one sock done. And I will be honest, I don't have much knitting to show you this week, even though I've been plowing away. First of all, living in my Fluffy Fibers project bag by Isabel of the Fluffy Fibers podcast, which is a podcast you should totally check out. I love Isabel. She's awesome. And I'm wearing the nail polish that she gave me too. I love this pink. And here it is. I'll just show it to you. I forget everything's backwards on this camera. But it's Avril nail polish, which is French, I believe. And it's the rose Bollywood color. A really pretty pink. So I'm wearing it. Yay. It's so pretty. And it matches my bag. So, but yes, anyway. Living in my project bag here is my lattice shawl by another lovely and amazing podcaster, Maria of the Stitched in Sweden podcast. And I have been powering through this project like no tomorrow. I've just been having so much fun knitting this, or just, I couldn't put it down. And I'm having such a better time with this yarn as opposed to the wool yarn, which is a lovely yarn. It just did not want to be this shawl, and my brain didn't want to work with it. I don't know. But this, as I mentioned last week, I cast on the same shawl pattern using Brooklyn Tweed's Loft, which is a fingering weight yarn, in the postcard colorway. So it's this, I know some of you said it was coming out gray in the last episode, but it's actually a very light lavender heather with these, I don't know if you can see it, pink flecks, or red flecks, I should say. It's very, very subtle, but they are in there. You can probably see that. But I think I have maybe 2 more lace pattern repeats to do, and then I get to stop working with this colorway, which I don't have very much of, and switch over to this colorway for the applied border. which I am actually very excited about. So this is Brooklyn Tweed Loft, and it's 275 yards per skein, and it is Targhee Columbia sheep, and it's very spongy, dare I say. Spongy. But yeah, as you can see, I don't have very much, I didn't even weigh it yet, but I don't have very much yarn left over in this one cake, and I didn't buy another skein yet. So fingers crossed I'll have enough. And I'm actually asking for it because the pattern itself calls for me to use US size 5, but I went up a needle size to a size US size 6. So we will see. We will see if I get there. But yeah, last time I showed this to you, I was using my carbons, but for some reason the yarn, because it's a very lofty yarn, it sticks. Why I went to a bamboo needle is beyond me. I should be knitting with metal needles just to get that extra slip. It needs a slippery surface for the stitches to glide, because this is, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's fine. It's fine. I have been struggling. I have not been struggling with it, clearly, because I've been making progress on it. So here's, I don't know, which way. So this is how far I am on it. And this is the lattice lace pattern. You can see, and then I have my little skein in the big wool stitch marker. And it's a unicorn. It's awesome. I love it. And yes, because both sides it's knit on both sides, I've just been keeping a little stitch marker here to just remind me which side is the right side and which side's the wrong side. So, okay, so that's where I am with that. And into the bag you go. Okay, so that is it for knitting. And again, I have not been spinning at all, which really, really stinks, because I really want to spin so badly, and I want to have a spin along. So I'm thinking to kick my butt into gear and just get back into spinning, because I feel like it's been weeks. It's been a long time. Let's do a spin along, shall we? Okay, a lot of you want to do a sock spin along, so let's do it. Let's just do a sock spackle, okay? We'll do it. So pick your favorite fiber, and I'm thinking the greatest thing about spinning fiber for socks is that it can be any color, it can be as crazy as you want it to be. It really can. So pick some fiber that you've been dying to use and have never gotten around to spinning it, and let's spin some socks. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So kickoff date, we'll start July 1st. June is almost over, which is crazy. It's just totally flying by. But yes, let's do June 1st. We'll make it a 2-month-long spin along. You can use your reel, you can use your drop spindle, whatever you want, whatever fiber that you would love to use. And that's the awesome thing about knitting socks, or spinning yarn for socks for that matter. It can be any color, it can be crazy. Whatever yarn, whatever fun color yarn, whatever fun color fiber you have languishing in your stash, whip it out, get it on the wheel, and let's spin it, okay? So, all right, sock spin along starting July 1st, ending September 1st. So, July, August, September. So you have all of July, all of August to spin and knit a pair of socks. Of course, I will start a Ravelry thread, a thread in the Ravelry group, so one for chatter and one for prize entries. So just FYI, I will put all the rules and whatnot in there. So that said, okay, yay, spin along. I've been meaning to get one underway, and today's the day, my friends. So yeah. But other than that, I have been crafting in other things. I have been sewing. Last week I showed you that I was very excited about sewing a skirt. I got the fabric, I got the pattern, I cut out all my pieces, and then I realized my foot pedal is lost. I can't find my foot pedal. So I had to order another one. I found one on Amazon for a really good price. And it came on Monday. And of course, as soon as it came, I went to my sewing machine and just sewed my heart out. And as I mentioned, I signed up for a class on creativebug.com. I believe it's through Simplicity. It was a free class that I took. And it's a 3-hour class that shows you how to sew a skirt from start to finish using this pattern. So because I'm a total beginner when it comes to sewing, I just wanted to follow along with somebody so I knew what I was doing. But it shows you how to sew this skirt from start to finish. As I mentioned, it's Simplicity pattern 1369, and I did C, which has pockets, and it's not as long as this. It's like a midi skirt. This one here that's pictured. So yeah, I sewed a skirt. I'm actually wearing it. I posted a couple of photos on Instagram, and I don't know if I can show it to you here because I will knock down my camera, but I will do my best. I will stand up. Ooh. So it's little, yay! So it has pockets and everything. Yay. And invisible zipper, my friends. I am so proud of myself. It's not perfect. There are a multitude of sins on the wrong side of the fabric, but thankfully you can't really tell. But it does the pattern shows you how to do everything. It does it shows you how to do gathers, which are skirt gathers, which are a little tricky. It took a little finagling, but I did it. If you look really closely, they're not even at all. But again, you have to look super close and have to be an expert sewer to actually tell. I had a lot of fun doing the invisible zipper. I don't know what it is about that, but that was just awesome. It was really fun to put that in. And the hem, I was a little I'm not crazy about doing the hem, only because it was it's a full skirt, so it took me forever to like iron it out and then sew it all around, but it was fine. And it has pockets. I love the pockets. I want to put pockets in everything now. So I definitely want to sew this skirt again, this time hopefully with better precision. I will probably be going onto the internet and finding more fabric to knit another one of these. I highly recommend it. It's a great skirt. It's very versatile. What else can I say about it? I used interfacing, which was new to me. I was supposed to get fusible interfacing, but I apparently picked just regular interfacing, but it was not a problem whatsoever. But yeah, I love it. I love sewing. I want to sew all the things now. So yay. I will definitely be leaving my sewing machine out a lot more. I think it'll just stay on my desk. Just stay, I love knitting. I'm not giving that up. Do not worry. But yeah, I'm just super excited to get on to the next project with sewing because it's so quick. I think this took me maybe about 3 days, not 3 full days, but I would say maybe, because I'm new to this totally, it took me, I want to say 8 hours. 8 hours of just getting everything right and, getting acclimated and making sure I was doing everything the way I was supposed to be doing. The way patterns are actually written on, I don't know if I can, what did I do with that paper? Oh, it's over here. But patterns come with directions like these, and the language is very new to me. It's just like learning, when you're new to knitting, it's a totally different language. So it definitely made my brain just kind of implode a little bit while I was reading it, but it was great that I had the tutorial to kind of refer back and forth to. And I will, of course, post a link to that class if you are curious, but it's definitely worth it if you're interested in sewing. If you haven't sewed in a while, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's not like Craftsy. I mean, it's similar in the fact that it's a course and they have different lessons, but it's not the same platform. You can't really ask the teacher or bounce ideas back and forth with other people taking the class. but it was fine. I found it very helpful and informative, and I had no problem with it. So definitely check that out. It's yeah. So yay, sewing. But the next pattern that I'm thinking about, or I am going to be sewing, is this one. So I have the fabric, and I'm going to be doing this one right here. This is really cute. So I'm excited about that. So enough about sewing. But otherwise, I'm going to move on to, I have a question for sewers who have done this. Because once you're done with a pattern, granted, I have the cutout of the pattern. What is your method of preserving those patterns without? Because I know it's like tissue paper. It's very fine, and I know you can easily fold it up. But is there a way, like a certain way that you preserve them? Do you just fold them up and put them back in this envelope sleeve, or do you find a sturdier paper, like construction paper, or I don't know what you call it, like paper bag paper? It comes in a roll or something. I've seen people do this where they have cutouts of those, and just so it lasts longer. Any tips or tricks would be much appreciated, because I definitely want to save this pattern and make it again. So, okay, I'm going to move on to Ask Away, which is, okay, so this question comes from Carla Rodriguez on Ravelry, and I actually revised the question a little bit so it makes sense for everybody. But she basically wants to know, I hear that you dye yarn almost every day. I am also interested in natural plant dyes, and she believes that both processes using plant, natural, and acid dyes is the same. I've never dyed with natural dyes before, so I can't really vouch for that, but I imagine they are. The process is you need an acid, you need the dye, you need the heat source. So we'll just say, technically, yes, they are the same. But do you believe any special caution needs to be taken when dyeing yarn? The reason I am asking is because personally it gives me a lot of headaches, which is a shame because I love the process. Okay, well, I'm not sure. Rule number one, when you're dyeing yarn, should always be to wear a mask. It doesn't matter. It's like you want to protect your lungs. You don't want any of the dye powder or fumes or whatever vapors to get into your lungs, because it can greatly irritate it. And I'm not sure, it may cause a headache just because you are either allergic to it, which again, important, wear a mask. I use a full-on respirator when I dye yarn because I do it all the time. I don't want to mess around. And case in point, this past week, it got really hot in the kitchen and I couldn't take wearing the mask anymore. So I was like, all right, I'm just really quick, 5 minutes, I'm just going to do a couple of things and just not wear the mask. Bad idea, because the next day my throat felt a little irritated. So I wear that mask all the time when I'm dyeing. Do not mess around. Because worst case scenario, you breathe it in, you have rainbow lung, which is something totally made up, but if it gets in your lungs, it can cause a lot of problems, and even worse, you can develop an allergic reaction to it, and you will not be able to dye yarn ever again. So that's a good reason to wear a mask, I would say. You can, if you're dyeing yarn for occasionally, once in a blue moon, you can probably get away with one of those paper masks. But if you are at the dye pot every week, wear a mask. So that's today's PSA. And Carla, if you are not wearing a mask, that might be the reason that you are getting a headache. I know it might not be comfortable, but try, if you have not been wearing one, try it, see if it works. And if not, I really don't know what might be causing the headaches. But yeah, that would be my first bet that would be the case. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope I translated that correctly. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a note in the Ask Away thread, and I will do my best to answer, like I do. So that said, I am going to move on to shop update. So if you are not interested, thank you so much for spending some time with me this week, and I will see you next time. If not, stick around because I got a shop update coming up Friday, June 26th, I believe, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as usual. So I have yarn over there and I will be right back. Okay, first things first, I have some Myth, which is a colorway that I have not dyed up in a long time. It's kind of like this muted light blue with hints of violet in there. And this is dyed on my Luft base. I will have some more of this on other bases. I just haven't dyed it up yet. I will be dyeing some more stuff tonight. So there will be this colorway. There will also be some more Ui, which is a really popular colorway right now. A lot of you have been requesting it. So there will be this, which is kind of like, it's like light blue, light peach, and then red and blue speckles and gray speckles. So there will be that on various bases. There will be some more Angry Orchard on Volca. So yeah, there will be that. And then, so this one will be a one-of-a-kind colorway, and it's kind of my, I guess, 4th of July one-of-a-kind colorway. It will not be repeated. I have not named it yet, but there are 2 skeins of it, and it will be in the shop. So it's got everything in there: red, white, blue, gray. It's very, very, very patriotic. So there will be that, and then this is another one-of-a-kind colorway. I was just having a lot of fun with speckles in the dye pot this week. I haven't named this one either, but it will be in the shop. It has like a golden brown undertone to it, some purple speckles, some pink speckles. So yeah, that will be in the shop. And there's a lot more in the shop. As I mentioned, I'm going to be dyeing some stuff today and tomorrow. It never ends. So definitely stop by on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another shop update, and I hope you can make it. So other than that, I think I'm going to be moving on to blather and a little bit of makeup chat. So this week, because a lot of you have been asking, I've been wondering about what lipstick I wear. So I wear, today obviously I'm wearing red lipstick. It really depends on my mood, honestly, and what I'm wearing, but, oh, Jiminy Cricket, what did I do with it? Okay. So today I am wearing NARS in their Jungle Red colorway. Again, I'm just calling it colorways, but it's this really bright orangey red. It's not really orange. It's actually kind of blue tone to it, but it's a medium red color. So that's what I'm wearing today. And if you're looking for the perfect shade of red, definitely go by your skin tone. Cooler skin tones definitely look best with reds that have a blue undertone to them, and warmer skin tones look best with a red that has orangey undertones to them. And I hear the best way to figure out, if you have no idea what kind of skin tone you are, car alarm, I apologize. And if you have no idea what skin tone you are, just look at your wrist and the veins on your wrist. If the veins appear blue, then you are cool skinned. If they appear a little bit green, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just warm skinned. So nothing wrong with that. But that's the best way that I hear that you can tell if you are cool skinned or warm skin toned. So I can't really. Sometimes I look like it looks green, and then other times it looks cool. So I guess I'm somewhere in between. But for me, this one, I would say it's more. This shade is very much a little bit on the orangey side. I want to say. I don't know. I could be. It's really hard to tell sometimes, but it works on me. So I would definitely suggest testing out the lipstick before you buy it. I know places like MAC allow you to test out. MAC and Sephora are shops that let you test out lipstick shades. But yes, if you're afraid of investing, if you don't want to try on shades at a store or whatever, if you're just not into that, I would recommend, what I always call my gateway drug into red lipstick, is Revlon. They make a color called really red. It's their matte number 006. That one. If you can see that. I will post links to these in the show notes, of course. But it's very similar, and the price is nice. It's definitely, you can find it at any drugstore here in the US. I don't know about elsewhere, but it's a very similar shade. Let me just contrast and compare. It's very similar. Maybe this one's a little bit darker, but it's definitely a good starting point. Because this is an investment. I believe I paid $28 US for it, only because I wear it all the time. But if you're just looking to play around, I always recommend Revlon's Really Red. So definitely check that out. Another one that I don't have that I actually lost it. Another shade that I really love is MAC's Russian Red. That's a very bluish red. It's very similar to this, but just has like a little darker, bluer undertone to it. The other one that I wear that I could not find, that I wear all the time when I'm not in a red lipstick mood, is Baby Lips by Laura Mercier. And it is a really, really wonderful, like light pink neutral color that I feel like it would go with just about any skin tone. And I've gone through 2 tubes already. And the one gripe that I have about it is that it goes super quick. It's very creamy, and it actually melts if you're not careful, if you have it out in the sun. But definitely check that out. I'll see if I can post a photo of it here or something. And then another one by MAC that is a really good kind of like dark neutral is Twig. You've probably seen this one floating around Pinterest, but it's this really awesome kind of mauve-y kind of shade. But I've worn it on the podcast a couple of times, I think. And then I'm trying to think what else. I don't really go for the crazy colors. I usually just stick to either red or very like neutral pink shade of lipstick. Here's another one that I wear sometimes. It's actually by, what is this? Another one by Revlon. It's called Pink Truffle, and one of their lip butters. And this is really moisturizing. Another kind of mauve-y color. So that's just a little look into my makeup bag as far as what I wear from time to time. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And of course, if you have any more makeup tips, I will start a thread in the Ravelry group. I will start a lot of threads this week. So yeah, if you have any makeup questions, just ask me in there, and I will try and answer those for you every week. Yeah. So. Okay, aside from that, blather-wise, I'm having a knit night tomorrow night. A couple of friends are coming over. It will be my first party in my new house, you guys. It's going to be awesome. So I'm kind of excited about it. So yeah, I know a couple. I won't mention who's going to be there, but you know, the usual suspects. Wink, wink, you know who you are if you're coming. So that's something I'm excited about. I'm going to be making some finger foods, so that'll be fun. I won't go too crazy, but yeah, I'm just really excited to finally have a party at my place and another knit night because I'm going through withdrawal. I miss my friends. And yeah, otherwise, I think that's really it. That's all that's been going on in my life, aside from crazy weather. Yeah. No, I don't think we have any plans for this weekend. 4th of July weekend's coming up. We will be going to the Cape. So that will be nice to get out of the city and kind of like take a break from house stuff. And yeah, so I believe that is it. That's all I have for you this week. So thank you so much for spending time with me this week. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And as always, if you have any questions, or, you know, I can always be reached through Ravelry, PM me. If I don't respond to you right away, I apologize. I try to get to everybody. Leave a comment in the Ravelry thread. I love hearing from you guys. So don't think that because I don't answer your emails that I don't care. I do care. I really, really love hearing from you. It always makes my day when you let me know how much you're enjoying the podcast. And yeah, so I hope you guys are staying cool. Happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.